Howdy. I made a video earlier, but somehow my phone funked it up. So now let's check out quickly something else. We are at Campi Flegrei area 0.78 hours ago, which is literally at Campi Flegrei. And then we have also this one here. 2.79 hours ago, 10 user reports, depth 2 kilometers. This was the wrong button. I was supposed to push the reports. Now let's try again. Here it says 10 and 4 user reports. So this doesn't really work. Now let's check out some clouds because they're really amazing. But Campi Flegrei, now it works probably. But Campi Flegrei seems to rumble. In bed felt bed shaking windows rattle, a rolling shake across floors. The ground moved and furniture shook. This quake woke me up, the bed was shaking. It was a huge bang first, then rattling. Yeah. If it wouldn't be Campi Flegrei, it wouldn't be probably too much of a thing to think about. And I made a video about this quake early because I found some very interesting pictures in the region. Yeah, they also included clouds, but now maybe I make it later again, but let me share you some cloud pictures and something about the Kalevala, the Finnish national epos. So these are from today. And I just want to point out the filamentary structure which emerges from these. This is very interesting. Perpendicularity of plasma filaments. Then we have these. It's not that well visible because they are rather far away, but they seem to rise up. And they have some bigger brothers over here. They in a way emerge out of nowhere and seem to rise upwards. And it seems also that up here is some disturbance going on because maybe the energy goes just through here, but it only excites the water molecules in between, in the double layer or outside of the double layer. There's not too much going on. As we can see here, there is this kind of a gap in between, but it's continuing upwards. Yeah, I took many pictures of the approximate same thing. Here you can see also on the lower side something going on. It's not that well visible, but anyway, something is visible. Let us enhance this quickly. Maybe I just show the cloud pictures, otherwise this video is gonna be endless. Let's go with that. Now you have seen how much time I use sometimes in order to enhance pictures. So there is no photoshopping or whatsoever ever used what I do. All the pictures which are in a way enhanced or whatsoever, it's all just made with a phone. Simple and even understandable for old people like me. There seems to be some energy exchange going on, which can be seen also up here. And they have been very persistent for many hours. And also the clouds, they weren't moving too much. They stayed more or less in place. And after spending some time inside, when I came out, I watched at this sky and I thought, whoa, I haven't seen a sky like that. It doesn't really, yeah, the picture's interesting, but if you see it in real, it's already over. It was just for a, I don't know how long it has been there, but it somehow seemed to dissipate. And it's very interesting. There are these lines in the sky, but not really clouds anywhere. And there are interesting clouds wherever you look. Maybe we should enhance this quickly. Let's see what we get out of it, if anything. Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't check windy yet for today, like really. This is just right above my head. It's 90 degrees turn. Yeah. The boat. There has to be still some little bit work to be done on it until it's ready. Like to get the rows on it and stuff. Otherwise it's quite ready. It will float. That's a video. It's very hard somehow to make any video or whatsoever if you are watching towards the sun. You cannot even see if it's sharp or not. But just I thought I make a quick video even though it's gonna be sketchy, but you can see now that it really looks like that. Or it did for a brief moment. Very interesting. But now let's go over quickly to Kalevala. I found my Kalevala, the Oxford World's Classics. It is very thick, it has more than 600 pages. Yeah, here you can see it, it's very thick. And I just thought I would start to read at some chapter, and it happened to be chapter 47, Fire from Heaven. And I didn't have yet really time to dive into the whole Kalevala and figure all the stuff out. Väinämöinen might be Saturn. Or it might be Uranus. Or Mars. I'm not too sure yet. It's one of those. Steady old Väinämöinen played the kantele, which is a... Yeah, I showed you once a picture where I played the kantele. Long both played and sang, rejoiced in other ways too. The music rang in the moon's cabins, the joy at the sun's windows. The moon comes from its cabin, stepped onto a birch crook, and the sun emerged from its stronghold, squatted on top of a pine, to hear the kantele, to marvel at the merriment. Louhi. I think Louhi is Venus, the planet Venus. This is the only thing I'm pretty sure about. Louhi, mistress of Northland, the gap-toothed hag of the north, then lays hold of the sun. Caught the moon with her hands, the moon from the birch crook and the sun from the pine's top, and she brought them straight home to dark Northland. She hid the moon from gleaming within a bright-breasted rock. She sang the sun from shining into a mountain of steel, and there she spoke thus: "Don't get out of here alone. Don't rise, moon, to gleam, and don't get out, sun, to shine. Unless I go, and let you out. Come and raise you myself with 9 stallions born by a single mare. When she had conveyed the moon and had brought the sun into Northland's rocky hill into the cliff of iron, she stole the flame, the fire from Weinerland's cabins, and the cabins lost their fire, and the rooms their flame, and now it was night, perpetual, long, pitch dark night in Kalevala. Those cabins of Winoland yonder in heaven, where the old man of the sky sits, it's hard to be fireless, and great woe to be flameless. Tiresome for mankind, tiresome even for the old man too. The old man, chief god, he, the sky's creator, began at that to feel strange. He thinks, considers what wonder blocks out the moon, what fog is in the sun's way, that the moon gleams not at all and the sun shines not at all. He stepped along a cloud's rim and along heaven's border in stockings that were bluish, in bright, well-heeled shoes. He went in search of the moon and to catch the sun, but he cannot find the moon at all, cannot catch the sun at all. He struck fire, the sky's old man, and he flashed forth flame. With a sword of fiery blade, with a sparkling brand, struck fire on his fingernail, made it crackle on his limb in heaven on high level with the firmament. Yes, he got fire by striking, and he hides the spark of fire in a golden purse, in a silver case, and he had a maid lull it, a lass of the air wag it, to form a new moon, to start a new sun. The maid, along cloud's top, the lass upon the sky's brink, she lulled that fire, she wagged that little flame, in a gold cradle, in a silver sling. The silver beam sagged, and the gold cradle jingled, the clouds squirmed, the heavens mewed, and the lids of heaven tilted, as the fire was loud, as the little flame was wagged. The lass lulled the fire, wagged the little flame, trimmed the fire with her fingers, cherished the flame with her hands. But the silly girl dropped the fire. Yeah, Venus dropped the fire. From her hands to one who turned from her fingers, she who trimmed. Heaven was split into holes, the sky all into windows. The spark of fire broke away. The red tine whisked off. Down through the heavens it spilled and pierced the clouds, flickering through the 9 heavens, clove the 6 bright lids. The old Väinämöinen said, "Brother, Smith Ilmarinen, let us go and look. Let's get there and learn what the fire is which has come, that strange flame which has tumbled out of the heavens above, down to Mother Earth. Whether it is the moon's ring, or else the sun's disk." Ben Davidson has been talking recently about the solar micronova possibility of its being ejected either amongst its equator or as a whole shell which would explode into all directions. We have Saturn with its rings, and there are other planets which have rings in our solar system. And the rings, they are basically just a magnetic effect from a Birkeland current which goes through the planetary body. Yeah, the perpendicularity again, like we just saw in the clouds. And I was just thinking as reading this Kalevala. That's the whole reason why I showed you this Kalevala. Because it says, I missed, the moon's ring. Has there been a time when the moon had a ring too? Maybe not for a long time. 2 weeks? 2 years? 2 hours? I don't know. But I found that very interesting. And since we are reading that the strange flame which has tumbled out of the heavens above down to Mother Earth, we might have to take a look quickly at the plasma rocks because I've been there yesterday. We made a quick visit at the plasma rock site here in Finland. And every time you go there, it's like amazing. This is so metallic, you have no idea. The picture really doesn't give credit to the metallicity of the whole thing. Not all of the rocks are so metallic, but here you can see it's really shining. And the lake is still frozen, obviously. You can see there's like people walking around with dogs and stuff. There has been many people out there. It was rather warm. And you can imagine how they watched me when I went there and checked out the stone and took pictures. Yeah. It would be fun if someone would once ask, "What are you looking at?" Yeah, then I would have to ask back, "Do you have a little moment, time to listen? Do you have the guts to listen? Are you prepared to hear something you have never heard before?" There's just like holes in the rocks. For comparison, that's my foot. And they are shiny. And there's like thousands of craters there all over the place. And it's hard for me to imagine that this would have been meteorites or asteroids or whatsoever doing all these craters. Yeah. Really hard to imagine. Yeah, and I found yet another cross. Here it is. That's very interesting. Andrew Hall has this one video, the cross of Laramie or something. And here you can see that there has been a shockwave here. Because this pattern, or like the patterns on this side, don't continue on this side. Because we have this shockwave pattern here. I find this very interesting. Here we have another shockwave which goes just straight through the rock. And here is the same rock. We can see different kind of shockwave patterns. There is one, here is one, probably here is one too. Here, maybe this one, some oblique shock pattern. And this white stuff is not ice or snow. And you can see that there is a different rock here and a different rock on the top of it. Yet more shockwave patterns. And hopefully you remember we just read the Kalevala where the fire came down from the heavens down to earth. And we are quite likely watching the remnants of what it did to Mother Earth. Huh. Yeah, think about that. Some random person would ask me, "What are you watching at?" And I would start to explain him or her or whoever it would be. I think they would run away after a few sentences. And here you can see the shininess. It's really, 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 really shiny. And people, it's somehow so soft. You can write your name in it like people did. Yeah. And also here we have shock waves. Maybe that's also shockwave. Yeah, and I think I will end it with this picture. It's just amazing. You cannot watch these rocks enough. There's never enough time to watch. Maybe this is petrified clay as well. I don't know. But it's also very hard to get professionals to talk. I would have many, many questions, but they don't answer. Check out this color or this colorfulness. Once again, the picture doesn't really give credit to it because this is all shiny and stuff. In a way, it's somehow almost visible how shiny it is, but it's really, yeah, the picture doesn't really give credit to it. It's just amazing. There is like hundreds of craters on top of that stone, and the whole stone alone has a very interesting shape. Now, this is one of the rocks from on top, because from top down you can see the layering. It's like very, very, very finely layered. It is amazing. But anyway, I think I leave it with this picture here. It turned out to be a very long video. Yes. Thank you. Bye.